Well, millennials are falling behind their baby boomer parents. Nightside.
Oh shit, I couldn't possibly ever dream that that might be happening.
As Christina Renault explains.
Very frustrating. Carolyn Mercado says at 24 she has roughly $40,000 in college debt, but she says her mom at 24 already owned her first home.
Well. This brings up all sorts of questions because I know a lot of millennials and a lot of them have all sorts of school debt and can't seem to pay it off and certainly don't have anything in their name, and that's what's happening. Now, the first thing you might notice here is the generation gap between the baby boomers and the millennials. So that's understandable. And in that time span, a lot of stuff has changed in this country. And not really for the better.
I brought it up to her, she's like, it was just a different time. It was just a different time. That's everything I hear.
Exactly. It was a different time. Back in the day, shit was cheap. Now, a lot of you are going to say, yeah, but the dollar was worth more then. Yes, that's true, but inflation has taken a stronghold, and even though we do have the advent of cheap China goods, we also have shit nowadays that people are paying for that didn't exist back then, like your goddamn smartphone. How much are you paying a month? 100 something? Oh, we're on a family plan. That doesn't make it any cheaper or any less valid. Oh, well, I need my phone. No, you don't. Because your parents, your baby boomer parents, didn't have that kind because it didn't fucking exist. And there was no service that you had to pay for. You don't need it. You choose to need it. You choose to want it is actually more correct. And you know what? Shit, $100 a month? Well, that's $1,200 a year. Let's divide that into 40,000. Looks like that would be a nice chunk of change in a few years.
That's exactly what a new analysis from the advocacy group Young Invincibles found. Millennials are falling behind their baby boomer parents.
It's tougher for them. It really is. I think it's a matter of prices going up, but wages not necessarily matching.
Now, the new analysis shows a troubling generational divide. Millennials have half the net worth of boomers, a lower home ownership rate, while their student debt is much, much higher. With a median household income of $40,581, the report found millennials earn 20% less than baby boomers did at the same age, despite the fact that millennials are more educated.
So they earn 20% less despite the fact that they're more educated. Well, first of all, did you see that last little scene there with whoever it was on a laptop? Not more educated. Not more educated. More computer savvy. More, oh, let me just look that up on Facebook. OMG. And now Heinz Ketchup with the take a fucking selfie and we'll donate $1? Fuck that shit. Come on. Who the hell needs that? Then, you know, they're earning 20% less. Well, there's a very good reason for that. Companies have, this started really in the very late 90s to early 2000s. There was this company-wide, well, I shouldn't say company-wide, but like nationwide thing that companies adopted called do more with less. And if you noticed in that time span, you would go into a store and suddenly lines were longer. You had to wait, especially in a store where you needed a salesperson to help you or to get the product that you're looking to purchase or anything like that. And not to mention, lines at the checkout or anything like that. Corporations have decided that they're going to do more with less. These people have to work longer hours and don't get as many breaks, or can't take their breaks, or can't have a fucking vacation day or anything like that, what the companies are doing is a result of corporate American greed. That's right, corporate American greed. They got greedy. They said, why should we pay for 10 associates when we can do fine with 7? These 7 will have to just work harder. They don't raise your pay when they fire the 3 people or lay off the 3 people. No, because that whole, defeats the whole purpose of it, which is really sort of ridiculous, because in the end, all you're doing is a disservice to the customers, and the customers are what keep you in business. It has to come full circle. This is important stuff here, and they're failing to realize that. Some companies have taken this do more with less to such a point where they're trying to squeeze blood from a stone, as the saying goes, and they're succeeding.
Seeing is that the entire middle class has been squeezed. So now it's affecting the millennial generation even more, because the baby boom generation got a lot of that early
I don't know what's with the hands here.
Before the middle class started to dry up.
But certified financial planner Michael Kresh says there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and this is not a permanent problem.
Part of the problem of the fact that my generation is working longer is going to disappear. And as the baby boomers, which is such a large generation, retires, jobs will open up again, and therefore upward mobility can occur.
Christina Renault, News 12, Long Island.
The declining fortunes of millennials could actually impact boomers who are retired or close to retirement, because their payroll taxes help finance Social Security and Medicare. Boomers also need younger generations to buy their homes and invest in the financial markets to protect their own savings.
Well, George Carlin had a thing on that, but I'm going to skip that one this time. Basically, they're saying that eventually the baby boomers are going to retire and or die, and millennials will fit in there. To say nothing of us Gen Xers. No, fuck us. Nothing to do with us. Didn't even mention us. No, maybe we have our shit together. I don't know. Tell you a quick story here. A lot of this college and school debt and stuff like that the millennials have is a result of poor planning. Poor planning. Now, I had an interesting story. This will not work for everybody, but it worked for me. My ultimate goal was to get a house, and as you know, if you've been watching my videos like you should be, I have one. And it's pretty nice, if I do say so myself. It's a place that I call home. And here on Long Island, prices are absolutely through the roof. Anywhere else in the country, you will find a house of this nature a lot cheaper. But let's just say that this house was somewhere in the neighborhood of $500,000. And I paid for it. All in cash? No, I got a mortgage. I mean, I can't fund that. But when it comes time for you to put down a down payment, people are looking to put down 10%, and then they have to get private mortgage insurance, which then costs even more money. Spending money you don't have. And that's what a lot of these millennials do and still do. Their cell phones or smartphones or whatever the hell it is one thing. Netflix or any of these other online services that you pay for. Oh, well, I have to watch my movies. No, you don't have to. In fact, you could actually be studying, doing well in school. Yeah, all right, here's my story. I was a square. I didn't have any of that shit, okay? And when it was time to study, I did. And over the years, I was still living with my parents, and the wife had moved out of her parents' house and gotten an apartment. And the deal was this. The deal was that she was going to pay all of the rent, and I am not responsible for a dime of that. And that's how it went for the 4 or 5 years that we were there. sounds kind of unfair. Now, if we needed some groceries or something like that, yeah, I'd reach in my pocket and I'd pay for it. But meanwhile, I'm working. And all the money that I get working is going into this thing called the bank. And by the time I was ready to get a house, she says to me, "Where are we going to get money to buy a house?" And I said, "Remember how you paid rent all those years? Well, my money went in the bank." And I was able to put down not 10%, not 15%, not 20%, but 50%. Not all of that was mine, granted. My dad did help me out with about $100,000 of that, but of course I had to pay him back, which I have done in the guidelines that we both set forth, the time period that we both set forth. So that's all squared away. And basically the rest of the mortgage was the balance of the cost of the house, and that's how I did it. And everything is, well, pretty comfortable right now. So a lot of it is a matter of poor planning and spending money on shit you don't need. Smartphone accessories, and how people overpay for this stuff also. You need a cigarette lighter to USB adapter. Well, they have them at Dollar Tree for $1. But no, you'll go into whatever your favorite store is, you know, Macy's, something like that. There they are sitting at the counter right by the register because, well, everybody needs one. And what's the price on that? Oh, $11.99. Yeah, I need one. Okay, there's another $12, but you could have saved 11 of that $12 by going to the right place to get these items. But no, it's all the convenience factor. It's all the convenience factor. It can't wait a day. It can't wait a week. It has to be now, now, now. Now, now, now. Me. And that's what all the millennials do. And therein lies the problem. Cut this shit. When I grew up, I had fucking nothing. I had nothing, and I had to make do with nothing. And if there was something I wanted, I just couldn't have it. So that's why a lot of things that I do have, I've held on to and service them or keep them working and keep them till the bitter end. And maybe a lot of times even beyond the bitter end, when it's just so far gone and it's held together with shoestring and bubblegum solution to keep it working. And there's a lot of things even right now that are that way. But it works and it gets us by. And you don't have to spend money on it. And eventually you'll either find somebody to fix it or learn how to fix it yourself and be creative, be resourceful. These are things that are lacking in the millennial mind. They just don't exist. Just go to the store and buy one. Find it right online. Anything like that. And then they have all this school debt. And you really wonder why? Well, I think I solved the case. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.